Hello there.
Won't stop.
Won't start.
Start.
Won't start.
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 Start. Start.
Stop.
War. Start.
Start.
War. Stop.
Start war.
Start war. Start war. Start war. Start
War.
war.
Start.
Start war. 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 War.
War.
Start war. 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 Start war. Start war.
Start.
Start.
War.
Start.
War.
Start.
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 War.
Start.
War. War. Start.
War.
War.
Start.
Start. War. Start. 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 War. Start. Start. War. Start. 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 War. Start.
Start. Start.
Start. Start. Start. War. Start. 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 War. Start. Start. Start.
Whopper, Whopper, Junior, Double, Triple, Junior, Double, Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Junior, Double, Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Junior, Double, Whopper, Whopper, Double, Junior, Double, Triple, Junior, Double, this day, Whopper, Double, Junior, Double, Triple, Junior, Double, this day, Double, Double, Junior, Double, Triple, Junior, Double, this day, Whopper, Double, Junior, Double, Triple, Junior, Double, this day, Whopper, Whopper, Junior, Double, Triple, Junior, Double, Whopper.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to conquer Earth!
Alpha, Reader's Escape. Recruit a team of teenagers with attitude.
What I remember about the rise of the Empire is how quiet it was.
Dip, 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 dip.
During the waning hours of the Clone Wars, the 501st Legion was discreetly transferred back to Coruscant. It was a silent trip.
Dip, 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 dip.
Save it for the enemy!
We all knew what was about to happen, what we're about to do.
Knock it off!
Did we have any doubts? Any private, traitorous thoughts? Perhaps, but no one said a word. Not on the flight to Coruscant, not when Order 66 came down, and not when we marched into the Jedi Temple.
Dip, 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 dip.
Not a word.
I don't know. Call me crazy, but I don't think they deserve to have their bright futures ruined by a momentary, minute, never to be repeated lapse of judgment.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Making rounds in the news. Some old interviews with her being dragged up. Like, there's an interview from 8 years ago that people are using as like a talking point. I wanted to pick apart what she says and really look into the psyche of this woman and see what her main goals are in her work. She hasn't done much. She's done an episode or two of Miss Marvel. She's done an animated movie, I believe. Let's see. Somebody said it in the comments. Oh, yeah. A series of Pakistani animated superhero movies and an animated movie about a Pakistani girl who dreams about becoming a pilot. But most of all, she's known for her documentaries, who are most about women in Pakistan. For the latter, she's won 2 Oscars. How does this qualify for her for Star Wars, you say? I do not know. Ask Kathleen Kennedy. But from what I hear in these interviews, she's more of an activist than a creative. But we'll get into this. We'll get into the nitty gritty. This first interview is the one from 8 years ago. That's going around. Jon Stewart was given. He was heading up a panel with Meryl Streep, Charmaine Obey-Chenoy, and Ava DuVernay, who you may know from Wrinkle in Time. And she was supposed to do a New Gods movie. You know, Jack Kirby's New Gods, the DC from DC Universe, which got canceled. But this, yeah, she hasn't done anything real successful. But she's been lauded as this great director, like many of them. These activist directors. Meryl Streep, another activist. But okay, I'm gonna try to look at this as like a devil's advocate. Okay, look at it from all points of view. But this is what she said essentially. I like to make men uncomfortable. You may ask yourself, why would a director want to do that to their audience? Why would they want to make them uncomfortable? I could see if you making a movie like what you call it, Clockwork Orange. Yeah, that's supposed to make you uncomfortable. Or 1984, things like that, dystopian kind of stories. But if it's like a Star Wars story, why would you want to make? Why would you want to use that to make someone uncomfortable? You know, sci-fi, fantasy, epic, space opera. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to make people feel good. Like they're supposed to want to go see this thing because it's going to make them like feel all the good feelings you want. And maybe it'll be a drama. Maybe it'll be, you know, hard hitting kind of emotions. Still, what she's talking about isn't that. It's something different. I'm gonna go ahead and start playing this, and I might pause it here and there. It's only 2 minutes. This first video.
Happening now. And so
Let me start over.
this is happening now. And so you are watching the lessons of, and it's a dramatization of the lessons of it as an activist and an artist. Do you make that calculation? Who is my target? You talked a little bit about, I want women to watch this and I want them to feel empowered and I want my daughter to have heroes.
Okay, so here's the thing. Star Wars already has a wide audience of both men and women. Like women, a lot of women actually do like Star Wars, like they liked it before Disney took over. And so, but they've been trying to Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, her ilk, have been trying to target more women and kind of, you know, tell men that you know, this isn't for you anymore. This is we're looking for this new audience. We're branching out to the world, whereas Star Wars already was kind of universal. Like people from all over the world were obsessed with this thing before Disney even came along.
Couldn't help but notice a thread through each of these that the men.
Oh, by the way, Star Wars already has very popular female characters, like not just Padme and Leia, but Mon Mothma, Aura Singh, Mara Jade, who in the EU novels marries Luke, Asajj Ventress was already popular in the Dark Horse comics before she was even in the Clone Wars series. There's so many. Depa Bilaba, Adigalia, there's all these female Jedi. One of my favorites is Ayla Sakura, who you may know from the movies, the blue tentacled woman who gets killed in Order 66. They show her getting killed. So we already had all these popular female characters, but Disney came in and said, "Okay, we're gonna make it all about the women. Like men, y'all can take a back seat." We're gonna make it all about the women. We're not gonna put any thought into these characters. We just want them to be badass and good at everything right away. And that's how you get the Mary Sue argument, like because Ray is already good at everything. She doesn't have to work for anything. Doesn't have to train. Like they show her training in Rise of Skywalker, but that was only after all the complaints, the backlash. It was kind of too little, too late, and then the story sucked, so that didn't help. But we'll see what Charmaine comes up with. Let me try to get through this.
We're assholes.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's talking about the men in her works. They're all assholes. So yeah, expect that in the new Star Wars. I'm assuming.
I'm wondering. As one of them, what is the balance of activating a force for change, but also trying to permeate that patriarchy?
He's so subservient to them. You see how low he sits comparison to them. You know,
That power structure.
it just looks pathetic from where I'm sitting.
And is that a part of the calculation of your art as well? And what's been the reaction to that?
Oh, absolutely. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable. Not you, just not you.
Just what do you mean by that? And he's a guy too. He's a man, by the way.
Not you.
Point taken. Point taken.
But you know,
Not you, but who? Who do you
it's
mean?
important to be able to look into the eyes of a man and say, I am here, and recognize that. And recognize that I am working to bring something that makes you uncomfortable, and it should make you uncomfortable because you need to change your attitude. And it's only when you're uncomfortable, when you're shifty, when you have to have difficult
Yeah, I know this is like 8 years ago, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if her sensibilities would have changed that much in 8 years. Who knows? But I'll pull up the more recent interview in a little bit.
conversations that you will perhaps look at yourself in the mirror and not like the reflection, and then say, maybe there is something wrong with the way I think, or maybe there is something wrong with the way I am addressing this issue.
So something wrong with the way you think is what she's saying. Like, okay, so she wants to change people's whole perspective on life, I guess. People that she thinks don't think the right way. Is what it sounds like. It's a lot of platitudes, a lot of dancing around, just saying what you want to say. This I saw. This is from the World Economic Forum, so she is tied to that. This is like an activist organization of governments around the world. They pulled together their resources to go to this thing every year. It's one of those organizations that's secret but still like right out in the open. Like they tell people what they're doing, what they want. They want to change the way people live, the way people think, and everyone's habits, all in the name of fixing the globe. Like climate change is a big issue with them. They want people to eat bugs instead of meat. All kinds of crazy things like that. And a lot of the higher echelon of society, the cabal, the rich and powerful, they buy into this organization. They're very powerful. And so Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy, I guess, is a part of this. I don't know much about her personally, but what I've seen makes me worried. If I was, though, invested in the Ray movie, I'd be more worried, but I'm not. So yeah, it's not really gonna bother me that much. But if you want good Star Wars, you should be worried right now. Like from Disney. But if you don't expect good Star Wars like from Disney like I do, then yeah, you probably won't be worried.
My greatest asset, to be honest, is that I'm a woman. I mean, many women that come from our part of the world think that it's a disadvantage. I've always thought that being a woman is my greatest asset. I mean, I really can get away.
Oh, it is an asset. Even over here, yeah. I mean, women have it. Let's be real. Women have it much easier than men do.
We're doing a lot of things in Pakistan, getting into places and getting out because I'm a woman.
Yeah. Oh. Let me clarify. In America, I meant in America.
But you don't play that card, do you?
Of course, I play the woman
you
card.
do?
Hell yes!
I wanted to hear
I
that.
mean, you're a South Asian woman.
This one was like 8 months ago. This interview.
You've got
Of
to play
course.
the woman card. There's a long line of men
Drag.
standing. Stand
That's-
to the front of the line.
that-
How can I stand if there's 100 people standing in line? No. When you can play the woman card,
You will.
You play the woman card. The damsel.
Yeah, the damsel in distress. She says. So yeah, she's all for feminism except for when it comes to taking advantage.
In distress. I mean, don't I look like a damsel in distress?
The fact that you say that sometimes that you use that card is immensely interesting for me to hear because very few women admit to that.
Well, the thing is that you've got to
Yeah, she's saying the quiet part out loud.
play all sides. If I need to stand up and face a man and look at him in the eyes and scare him off a little bit, I do scare Pakistani men off a little bit. That
I can see why. This is not the kind of woman a Pakistani man would want.
I do, and I enjoy that power.
You like being
I
intimidated?
enjoy that power that I can scare him, and he kind of takes a back step and then looks away. And then if I need to be a woman and be the damsel in distress, then I will be the woman and be the damsel in distress because we live in
They do that when it's convenient. Yeah.
in countries where you can do both, and I like that. I like the fact that somebody else is going to stand in line and let me cut in and
Have your cake and eat it too, in other words.
say please. I like that. Why not?
Yeah. Ridiculous. Okay, this is who's directing the next Star Wars movie, you guys. I'm assuming that's the next one coming out. What I hear, the release date is 2026. The last one, 2019. Jesus. I mean, well, whatever floats your boat, Disney. They're gonna keep doubling down with the activism, the girl boss, the Mary Sues, the putting down men, the misandry. They just never learn. They I don't know if they've noticed the toy sales are down. Ticket sales are down or on all their products. People aren't even going to the parks as much. I don't know if things will turn around at this rate. Yeah. Oh well.
The new Star Wars was not as good as everyone thought it was. It may seem fun to go back and recycle the past we loved, but we end up with no sustenance. Instead of a fresh new Star Wars, we want the old, just recycled and plopped in our tummies.